So welcome back to one more presentation on the IoT. And again, just a quick look back. We have been discussing about the design principle of the internet connectivity. As a background to this, I have shown you in the previous presentation, right, how the different layered approach, right, so is possible when we go to the higher layer, like the network layer. Earlier we had confined ourselves to the physical and data link layer. Now when we go to the network layer, right, how the protocols change. What do you mean by the constrained environment? What do you mean by unconstrained environment, right? What do you mean by COAP protocol, right? What do you mean by HTTP protocol, right? How the devices get connected between the different layers in the the network layer that we have seen in our previous presentation. With that as the background, now let us move on to our next discussion, that is the design principle of internet connectivity, right, or the internet connectivity principles, right. So now when I speak about the internet connectivity principles, some of the basic definitions here also, it is very essential for us. So let me start with the definition of what a header is, right, in our internet communication, right. So basically this header refers to the words which are required for processing a received data stack at a layer and which envelopes the data stack of the preceding upper layer before transfer to the succeeding lower layer, right. So it is very similar to the example which I had given you in the the envelope, right, which is being put in the post box, right. You can have that analogy and you can try to understand what exactly a header means, right. So whenever you want to transmit certain data which is in the form of packet, okay, so when the data is in the form of the packets, you have to have some address to that particular packet, right. So that is what we mean by the header. It refers to the word which are required for the processing of a received data stack, right, at a layer. So that means this is the word which is required for the processing of the received data stack at a particular layer and which envelopes the data stack of the preceding upper layer before transfer it to the next lower layer, right. So there will be header fields here, right. Whenever we speak about the address, there will be address fields, correct or not, right. So they are called as header fields, right. So now when I write the address, address has got different things. It could be name, it could be the name of the house, it could be the name of the lane, it could be the name of the locality, it could be the name of city, state, right, pin code or something like that. Each header will be having the header fields, right. How exactly the header fields are present, right, so that we will see as and when we come across those things when we discuss about the internet connectivity principles, right. So after this, we will have to see one more important thing, that is called PDU, that is called as protocol data unit. Protocol data unit. PDU is also one important term which we generally come across in our design principles of web connectivity or the internet connectivity. So protocol data unit is the unit of the data stack maximum number of bytes which can be processed at a layer as per the protocol at a layer or the sub layer. So now each byte or the group of bytes are to be processed at a particular layer or even in some sub layers. I will tell you later what exactly we mean by sub layers or subnets, right. Basically this protocol data unit is the unit of data stack maximum number of bytes. How many maximum number of bytes the total data stack is having, that is represented by protocol data unit. So this is another term which you are supposed to remember as long as the design principle of internet connectivity is concerned, right? So after this we have one more term which is called MTU, that is maximum transferable unit. MTU stands for maximum transferable unit. Okay, so what exactly is the meaning of this maximum transferable unit? It is the unit of the data stack maximum number of bytes which can be transferred from a higher layer to lower layer, or from a higher layer to a physical layer. So again, please keep at the back of your mind that we are in the process of transferring the data from one layer to another layer, right? So the data transfer could be from a lower layer to higher layer, or a higher layer to lower layer. How exactly the data encapsulation, headers, inclusion, everything takes place, that I will take up an example as and when we proceed further. But before we go into that, we have to understand what exactly we mean by maximum transferable unit. It is the unit of a data stack maximum number of bytes which can be transferred from a higher layer to a lower layer, right? So these are some important terminologies to begin with: header, protocol data unit, and the maximum transferable unit. So with these things we will proceed to our next discussions, what we call it as port. Okay, so if you have the background of your microcontrollers, definitely you should be in a position to understand what exactly we mean by port, right? You know the literal meaning of the ports also, right? So you have the ports, the harbors, right? So basically what they do, they communicate or they connect one entity with some other entity, right? Taking your sea as the path. So in the similar way, the same analogy can be used in our internet terminologies also. But here it is basically an interface. As you can see here, it is an interface, a software kind of interface to the network, which uses a protocol for sending a data stack at the output of the application layer to the lower layer, right? So we start from somewhere here, right? We go to the next layer here, right? Then again we go to the next layer here, right? We start proceeding in this way. Let us say that we have come to the bottommost layer. Now if at all you want to establish the connection between a higher layer to lower layer, the interface to the network which uses a protocol, again everything is abide by the protocols here for sending the data stack at the output of the application layer to a lower layer, right? From output of the application layer to a lower layer, right? The port receives the data stack at the input, at the receiver end application layer. Each port at an application layer uses a distinct protocol, right? So every port at an application layer will be making use of a different protocols here. This is what we mean by the port. Then the port number, once you say that once you understand that what is port, so definitely port number should be easily understandable, because it is the unique address by means of which a particular port is going to be identified. An assigned number according to the protocol used for the transmission and reception at an application layer, right? So this is one example given here, port number 80 for HTTP protocol at the application layer. So when we see these protocols, probably at that time it will be clear to you. So this is called as the port number, right? Then similarly you have got the ports in our TCP IP suite also. So I think for the time being, let us not much worry about what exactly we mean by the ports in the TCP IP suite, because we have not yet come across the TCP IP suite itself. In a general sense, I had told you that it is called as the transmission control protocol, right, or the internet protocol. Okay, a port uses a protocol for sending and receiving the messages. Only that much is sufficient for the time being, and these things we will see as and when they appear in our TCP IP discussion. Okay, then a very important one, a packet, right? A fixed maximum size set of bytes. Please try to understand these things very carefully. A fixed maximum set of bytes which communicates from internet layer to the router. So this is very important point to be noted, right? So internet layer to the router, whatever the communication takes place, for that we designate it as the packet. Fixed maximum size set of bytes which communicates from internet layer to the router and from one router to another router till the packet reaches the physical or data link layer in the receiving end. So what I mean to say here is, whenever I speak about the packets, it is concerned with the internet. Generally or synonymously we use the term internet packets, right? So packets are concerned with the internet, that you can always keep at the back of your mind. Packets route through a path decided at each router among the available path at any instant, right? When I speak about how the the packets move or flow in the internet scenario, right, or in the internet based network, that time probably it is clear how exactly the data hops, right, from one end to another end. That time you will have more clear idea about what do you mean by the packets, right? The packets route through a path decided at each router among the available path at any given instant. This is what we mean by the packet. And specifically now we have the IP packets, that is the packets concerned with the internet protocol. A data stack from the internet layer and between the routers to the other end of the internet layer. So whenever I have communication between two internet layers, here I have one, here I have one, right? Whatever the data path you have here, right? So that is called as the IP packet, a data stack from the internet layer and between the routers to other routers in the other internet layers, right? So here the stack includes IP header at the top. IP packets communicate from a source IP address through the routers to the destination address. So you have this is the source, let us say that this is the destination, right? Whatever the routers you have here, through these routers it is possible for us to have the communication by virtue of the IP packets, the internet protocol packets. So this is the meaning of what do we have as the IP packets, right? Then the next terminology is about the socket, right? So sockets, we know, being electrical engineers, right, we know what are the sockets, but here the sockets have slightly different meaning. You can see here again it is an interface or a software. It is a software based interface to the network that sends a data stack at an application output using a port protocol to the lower layer, using an IP address to the network for another socket at the receiving end, right? So a socket assigned a port number and an IP address. So every socket, right, is always assigned with a port number as well as the IP address. It is an interface to the network that sends what? The data stack at the application output using a port protocol to the lower layer. See, the data is being sent at the application output to the lower level. This is called as the socket, the mechanism or the means by means of which the data is sent from an application to the lower layer, that is called as the socket. And definitely it makes use of the IP address to the network for another socket at the receiving end, right? So this is what we mean by the socket or the socket in the internet connectivity terminologies. Okay, now the next thing is about the host, right? What do you mean by host? A device or node that connects to a network of computers, right? The literal meaning of the host, you know, right? Whenever you know arrange a party, right? Whenever you arrange a meeting, then you are called as the host there, right? Very similar analogy can be given to the host in our web connectivity or the internet connectivity. So here the device or the node is called as the host when it connects to a network of computer, right? The host provides the information, resources, services and application to the other node of the network, right? So now something like that, if I have here, right, you have the different nodes here. Now whenever this is getting connected to this 1 2 3 here, right? So this is called as the host here, right? The network layer assigns a host address to each host. So now because all these things are connected to the network, there could be multiple hosts in the network, right? So now the network layer is having the responsibility of assigning the address to each of the hosts which are present in the network. Okay, this is what we call it as the host. Then again, once we see what is a host, then we have to see what exactly is the IP host, which uses the internet protocol suite. So in the previous case, what we have seen is the network which assigns the host address, but here what is that network? It is the internet, right? One that uses the internet protocol suite is called as the IP host. So IP host has one or more IP addresses for the network interfaces. So this is one point to be noted here, right? So please keep at the back of your mind. When we take up that example, we will come to know what exactly we mean by this. An IP host has one or more IP addresses for the network interface, right? So this is what we call it as IP host. Then comes the network interface. You must have heard about the NICs, network interface cards, right? So what do you mean by the network interface? A system software network interface is basically a system software component or the hardware for facilitating the communication between the two protocol layers or the computers or nodes in the network. So you can have the two entities. Those two entities could be two protocol layers, right, depending upon the layered approach which we have seen earlier. They could be two computers, or they could be two nodes, they could be two hosts, right, they could be two devices, right? So between these, if at all you want to establish the communication, then it must be through the network interface cards, right? Or this mechanism is referred to as the network interface. The interface software components provides the standard functions connecting establishment or close or message passing. So these are some of the examples which can be realized by virtue of the network interface. Okay, so the network, after having seen the network interface, maybe the examples let us not take for the time being, right? Now let us move on to the next part or the next aspect, right, which is very important. This is referred to as the internet connectivity. The internet connectivity. And basically this diagram, if you have a careful observation, right, what exactly this diagram shows is a source and network layer connected to a destination end, right? A source and network layer, okay, being connected to a destination end, right? So you can see here you have the destination and IP address, you have got the source and IP address. How exactly the communication is established between the source end and the destination end, we have to see from this particular diagram, right? Please try to understand it carefully. So what we have here is the first one, let us say that a smart sensor with certain application framework or the IoT communication framework, right? Then followed by that we have got the gateway. We have already seen what exactly we mean by the gateway. Then the next thing what comes here is the set of IP routers. We have already spoken about what exactly are the routers which route the data from one layer to another layer in the internet protocols, right? So then finally you have these things, that is the application layer, right? So we start from the physical layer, then the data link or the network layer, then we go to the application layer, right? So when we come to the application layer, here you can see the hierarchy of the different layers: the physical come data link layer, the data link layer, the network layer, transport layer, and finally the application layer. This is how the communication is required to be established, right? So basically what do we mean by the internet connectivity here, right? It is through a set of routers in a global network of routers. Please try to understand, this is called as the global network of routers, right, which carry the data packets. These routers carry the data packets as per the IP protocol from a source end to the destination end and vice versa. So that means the communication could be this way or the communication could be this way. This is what we call it as the internet connectivity with respect to the IoT scenario, right? So internet connectivity is through a set of routers in a global network of routers which carry the data packets as per the internet protocol from a source end to the destination and vice versa, right? Basically the data transfer here, whatever we have, that takes place as per the standard format which we have even earlier mentioned, IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force. So this Internet Engineering Task Force we have already come across earlier whenever we define the modified OSI layer for the connectivity, right? Design principle of the connected devices, you can recall. So the Internet Engineering Task Force defines the protocols for all the communication between one end to the other end, which we generally call it as the source end to the destination end. Okay, so now this is what leads to the internet based communication, right? So all these things lead to the internet based communication. Okay, internet based communication. Okay, this is called as the internet based communication, right? So how exactly the internet based communication takes place? This is very important point to be noted, right? So now see, ultimately our intention is to make sure that the data is transmitted from one layer to another layer. Okay, so these are, say this is L1, this is L2, maybe you make use of the gateways and other things, and here most importantly I am using the internet protocol because I am speaking about the network layer protocols now, in particular the internet based protocols, right? So this is what is my requirement now. Whenever I want to transfer the data from one layer to another layer using the internet protocol, how exactly the different actions take place in the internet based communication, that we have to see, right? First step here is each layer's processing of the data is as per the protocol used for the communication by that layer. What I mean by that is, suppose you want to process the data at this layer, okay, this layer the data will be processed as per the protocol of the communication of that layer only, because very beginning itself I have told in different layers the different protocols are being followed for the data communication, right? So what physical layer follows, what your network layer follows, what your application layer follows, they are all different, right? So in each layer, whatever the data you need to transfer to the next layer, it is subjected to the protocol of that particular layer only, right? Then each layer sends the data stack, the total data received from the previous upper layer plus a new header. This is a very important point to be noted. Each layer sends the data stack received from the previous upper layer plus a new header, and thus creates a fresh stack after the performance of the task at the particular layer. Now what I mean by that is, here you have got some data stack. Okay, now this data stack is required to be pushed to this layer, right? So what we have here and what we have here, they are going to be different, because this is subjected to a new protocol, because it is coming to the next layer here, right? So you may have addition of some of the fields, you may have the deletion of some of the fields, depending upon from which layer to which layer the data is being transferred. So this is the second point to be noted, that is, each layer sends the data stack received from the previous upper layer plus a new header, and thus creates a fresh stack after performing the actions specified at that particular layer. This is the second. Okay, now let us speak about layer J or layer I, something like that. Okay, so this I is a higher layer, please try to understand. J is the lower layer, that means your I in this case is greater than J as per the protocols which I am following here, right? So now layer J will specify how many new parameters as per the protocol and create fresh stack for the subsequent lower layer, right? So here the process continues until the data communication takes place over the complete network, right? So now one example I will give you here. So we have got, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers here, right? Let us say that the data link layer or the physical layer is the lowest layer, right? And the application layer is the highest layer, right? So now the data transfer here is possible either from this point to this point, this direction, or in this direction also, right? So when I keep these things in mind, in IoT, specifically in IoT, the application layer is the highest layer, and of course the physical layer is the lowest layer. Now the data transmits from layer I to the next layer J. That means that the data is transmitted from the application layer to the lower layer, right? Because I have mentioned here that my I is greater than J, right? So I comes here, J comes to the next point, right? So this is one point to be noted. Okay, so the data transmits from the layer I to the next layer J when it transmits from application layer to the physical layer, right? So when the data is received at the next layer, say from, for example, from a layer J, right? So then the actions what are to be performed will be slightly different, because see, when I will just write it here. One more thing, I have something here. Okay, it will go in this direction, it will come here, right? So let us say that this is my application layer, this is the physical layer. So there could be two possibilities of the data transfer from application layer to the physical layer, or it could be in the other way around, that is from the physical layer to application layer, right? So now whenever we want to have the data transmission, right, at the physical layer, right, so what exactly has to happen will be exactly in the reverse direction of what the data transfer has taken from application layer to the physical layer, right? So what exactly happens? Again, the remaining things will the initial things will remain as they are. Each layer performs the processing as per the header field bits, which are received according to the protocol to be used for the decoding of the fields for the required action at that particular layer. Then each layer receives the data stack from the previous lower layer, and after the required action it subtracts the header word and creates the new stack specified for the next higher layer. So this is a point to be noted. So now when it comes from the higher layer to lower layer, right, so it could be addition of the things, something like this, okay. Then when it is to go from the lower layer to the higher layer, it could be the subtraction of the things, something like this. That is what is the protocol to be followed, right? So you have the complete information here. It is a large data along with the data packet and your the different fields which are required in the application layer. When it goes in this direction, some of the fields they get detached from this, and finally you will be having the raw data, the basic data which is to be put into the the physical layer. But when the direction is in the other way around, right, so you have the information here which makes this information subtracted, and finally you will have some other information going to the application layer here, right? So now maybe in this particular slide it is not that clear for you, because there was some confusion even in the beginning only how the data direction has to take place. But I will tell you very clearly how we will have the establishment of the data connection between an application layer to a physical layer, that is from a higher level layer to a lower level layer, and vice versa, right? When from the lower layer, if you want to make the data transfer to a higher layer, how exactly the data fields are to be created, framed, what is to be added or what is to be subtracted, and other things, okay. That probably I will tell you in our next presentation. So for the time being I will stop here, and if you have any doubt here, please ask.